My name's Jenica Lewis from Johnston High School, and this is Empowering the Iowa Girl.
But does St. Patrick's Day have any meaning to you now?
I mean, I say I'm Irish everywhere I go, and so do all the classmates, so that's cool.
That's great. Absolutely. Where'd you grow up at? And just talk us through that. Where'd you grow up? Hobbies, interests you had when you were a kid? You know, kind of before the real basketball started kicking on.
Yeah, I did a lot of sports growing up. So I used to live in Southeast Polk down there, and honestly, sports has been around my whole life, like the whole time. And my mom and dad, my brother all grew up playing basketball, and I was really big into softball too. So I played that until like 6th grade, and then ended up going into basketball full time, no softball or whatever. And
what was your position in softball?
I was right fielder. And actually, funny thing, one time I ran into the fence trying to catch the ball. So I think that was one of the moments I knew, like, I was actually pretty good, though. I played for this team called the Lady Tomahawks. They're not a team anymore, but I was a right field. I think a third base at one point, but...
Hit the ball?
Yeah, it never went out the field, but I had a lot of home runs, if that counts. Exactly. I was pretty fast around the bases, but yeah. That was just kind of just being outside. I really like to dance, be outside. I like nature. I did. I don't know about it anymore, but
it'll come back. Nature always comes back because it's that you can decompress. Mm-hmm. You know, if you like the outdoors and just getting outside, it gives you a chance to get away from the court, get away from school, and just decompress. So it's good that you have that passion because it'll always be there for you.
I like to go on like walks too sometimes, like walk my dogs with my mom, maybe some runs every now and then. So get with nature there.
Excellent. So in 6th grade then, is that when basketball, what triggered that? What made you think, you know what, softball, it's great, but I think basketball is where I'm going to kind of plant my flag?
Yeah, I think it was definitely when I would alternate weekends with softball and basketball just because they were both very competitive with the teams I was on. So when one tournament I went into softball and I really like missed being at basketball, and I'd come from softball practice and go to the gym and shoot, and my arm would just like throw off my shot a little bit. And I remember just always coming home so angry, like to my dad, like, dang, I want to be at basketball. And I think that's kind of just when I knew, like, dang, like this is like where I want to be. And then obviously I started picking up at 7th and like 8th grade, and when I started like getting offers. And so then I was like, why not? Like, if people are looking at me now, imagine how good I could be like when I'm older. So
as you're going through that 5th, 6th, that upper elementary, who are the role models and heroes you're looking up to? Is there somebody that you're like that kind of helped trigger that interest more so in basketball? But who are you looking up to at that time?
I really looked up to Diana Taurasi a lot. She was one of the biggest role models for me growing up. And honestly, just her and my brother and my parents, just knowing that they played basketball the whole time, I've always wanted to do that. So I kind of just knew from there, like, always competing against my brother. He's probably like my biggest enemy, you'd say, in my eyes. Like, we still play one-on-one, and I don't know, it's just always so competitive. So which
helps to, I mean, obviously having an older brother and working, and he's not going to take it easy on you, I'm sure. No. And so definitely develops that grit. Was there part of her game that you tried to mimic?
Always just the shooting part. I mean, my dad always said, like, focus on the fundamentals, and I always really liked her ball handling, how like she got into the defender and shot the mid-range, and she was a 3-level scorer. And I think that's like what I wanted to put into my game, was just 3-level scoring, 3-point, mid-range, and layups, because it's hard to guard from there. And then plus my brother, he shot so far, and it would always make me mad because I'm like, if I go out on him, he's going to drive by me, but if I don't, he's going to shoot and make it. So honestly, like, just trying to develop what he developed also like helped me grow faster, just because I'm so competitive, especially against him.
When did you realize, you said 7th grade, 8th grade, some colleges started talking, but when did you really realize that there's going to be opportunity beyond high school with basketball?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was after I got my first offer from Iowa State. After that, we played at this tournament in Ames. Not in Ames, it was like Des Moines, actually. It was called the TOC tournament, and we started, my team was peer prep, and we weren't on any circuit, which is like not really good for AAU, I guess is what people would say. But we were on a circuit and we were playing these high-level EYBL teams. And I remember I was averaging like 20, and then I was also just like competing really well. And I was like, what, an 8th grader or 7th grader then? And so like just knowing that we almost beat those teams, and I was just like, if we can compete with you guys, like anybody's willing to compete. So like honestly, just like then, and then the offers started coming in, and it like just kept rolling in, and then I was like, wow, I like really have a chance to be good. I don't think I ever like really like settled and like focused on like all the accomplishments that I've done. I think it was just like I have the chance to be good. And honestly, a lot of people were like saying like how good I could be if I continue to work, and so I think I just wanted to meet that standard that everyone else saw.
And it's cool that your team wasn't a high dollar club team. Was your dad coaching that team?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like a school team.
Exactly.
Almost.
Exactly. And then we moved on to Adidas, and we won like the Adidas thing like 2 times in a row. And I was just like, this is so cool. Like, especially just because we're all like girls that we don't really like, I don't know, you wouldn't ever think are like the highest level. So like the fact that we like proved everyone wrong is really cool too.
What part of your dad's coaching, what part of the game did he instill in you guys on that first team that helped you guys compete against those teams that are bringing in players from all over?
Yeah, honestly, he just, my dad, like growing up, he's like helped me so much personally, just because he's always empowered just the fact that like, just do what you can, play the game the right way. And I think that's like what's so different about the team, is that we played the right way. Like there was not really one star, one this and one that. It was like we all just wanted to win together, and like we were so close. And I think he's like always just empowered that, and that's always what's been so nice. But like and going into that game, I didn't even think he really thought much, like go play hard and go do what you guys do. And honestly, we kept up with them the whole game. We sent them into overtime, but we ended up losing by like 3 points, which is obviously fine. We weren't expecting it, but like I think he was just every single game like do it for each other, and I think that's what we did every game.
Playing the game for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, the win streak, what is it?
Oh, 79.
79.
79, yeah.
3 straight titles. Steak. What role does steak play in your game?
A steak? What do you mean, like the food?
I heard you have a pregame meal every game.
I did eat steak.
I did my homework.
I did. That, I don't know. I don't eat steak anymore. But it did help my levels. So that was for the diabetes reason. But I don't know. I still do sometimes. It's maybe not a pregame ritual anymore, but...
Perfect. Just for special occasions.
Yes.
Excellent.
Big games.
So with that, describe, I mean, we can spend hours talking about your high school career, but just kind of take us through that high school experience. Freshman year through senior year, just kind of the big 10,000-foot view of what was that high school experience here at Johnston High School like?
Yeah, freshman year was honestly, I think, what has shaped me into me. My freshman year was one of the hardest years of my life, just because I was going into diabetes. I started 8th grade, but moving into high school and all these things just was a lot. And then on top of that, I just, it wasn't that the girls weren't welcoming. We loved each other so much and we had so much joy, but it was just like, it was something I had to fit into. There's already like this big thing, and I was just a freshman going in, and I was a starter, which means I was taking someone's spot. Like I don't know if it was jealousy or like what I thought it was, but it was a really hard year for me just because mentally I just didn't think everybody wanted me to be here. And honestly, it was just a lot of drama on the team. And you probably wouldn't even be able to tell how many games we were winning. I mean, we lost 2 games that year, and we lost in the state championship, and that was a hard one on me just because I hate losing. I'm so competitive, and then we were just so close. I felt like I didn't do what I needed to do. I had 3 points that game, and honestly, I just don't even like talking about that game just because it was just so hard for me. But then the coaching staff is really what like helped me throughout like my freshman and sophomore year. A coach her name's Coach Cook. She was honestly like a role model for me and like a mentor. She just kind of like, I don't know if it was that I wanted to transfer, but I definitely just didn't feel like this was the right place for me at the time. And I went up to her like every single day. I was just like, I don't like it here. Like, it's just not like what I thought it would be. And I just had high expectations like going in, and then we lost. That was a really bad year. And then next came sophomore, and she's still there, and she's like, this year's going to be better. Like, everything's going to be okay. We went into this year, our chemistry was way better. We had to do a lot of team bonding things, actually, like just for everyone to get along. And we came in and obviously went undefeated, and then we won. That was a good year, but also it just wasn't like the best year ever. But that year was a really good year for me personally, just because I loved how we came back from such, like, my freshman year was such a hard year for me, like I said, but just losing that state championship really like made me want to like win 20 times more than I've ever wanted to. I've always said like that state championship might have been my favorite one, just because like it just came from a loss. I've never felt like the state championship vibe, and so winning that was really good.
The pressure of that freshman year, do you think was that more pressure you were putting on yourself, just your own personal expectations?
There was a lot of hype outside, obviously, like what will Jenica be? She's this many offers, can she help do this and that? They just came from a state championship year before, and so I felt like all that just kind of built up eventually. In the moment I would have told you like no, like there's no pressure at all, but like I think I just wanted to fit in so bad and not disappoint anyone, to the point where like it wasn't really realistic at the time. Like I was just, I don't know how old, 14 maybe, 15.
If there's a young girl out there that's in a similar position, she's been a great player at the junior high level and a lot of expectation coming in, what would you tell her? What advice would you give her coming into that freshman year? Hey, you're going to be a starter on a varsity team. How would you help her through that?
Yeah, I would definitely just say take your time. That whole time I felt like I was rushing every single game, forcing myself like, you have to make this shot, like you have to do this, you have to do that. If you play the game exactly how you've been playing it the previous years, like you'll be perfectly fine, especially because like you've been here for a reason, like you're this good for a reason. There's no reason you need to put all that pressure on yourself, let alone others put it on you. So I'd just say take your time and just have fun, honestly. It's your freshman year. You have nothing to lose.
It's going back to that first team with your dad.
Yeah.
Play the game for the right reasons.
The right reasons.
That's great.
I know.
Say it again. That's great. So now the freshman, sophomore, and I totally understand what you're saying. Winning that championship your sophomore year, you earned it. You did it, you know. But now you've also learned about some drama that you said you had to work through, about handling pressure. So as you get into now that junior, senior year, are you growing as a more of a vocal leader on the team now? Are you learning from some of the things you may have agreed with or disagreed with some of the upperclassmen when you were a freshman, sophomore? Now, how's that forming these next 2 years?
It was definitely like a big role for me just to be a leader. Everyone kind of doubted us, I feel like, my junior year, saying that we weren't going to be as good as we have been because we lost so many people like Eiley, Aaliyah, and like our bench too. Like that, like everyone, like we just lost them. And we've heard like, you guys aren't even going to win. You might not make it back. And we're just like, what? Like, what are you even talking about? And my junior year, I feel like was the closest like that I've been to a team since my whole high school career. And so every single game, like we had so much fun. Like that was like the whole point in high school, and what I wanted was just having fun with the girls. And honestly, that's what all that year did. And I think that's why we were so successful. And then this year, I think this year might have beat my sophomore year. I'm kind of biased, but this year, like, I don't know. I don't know if it was more emotional just because I'm a senior or just because of like the whole journey that I've been through, like my whole high school career. I grew like a bond with like every single person, like whether like you played a lot or you played very little, like we had something like such in common. And I think that's why it's like so hard to leave all this behind, is just because like I don't want to leave them. And like I've been playing with the twins and Julia and Emma since I was in like 6th grade, because I played for the Battlers too. So like just leaving them and like knowing we probably won't ever play again is like really sad. But it was a really good year, and every single game we weren't confident that we were going to win every single game just because we lost size. Like, I mean, me and Kelly were the tallest people on the court and we weren't even our post. Like Thea did such a good job too, but it was just like, it's just so surreal. Like this year, like is literally the best year for me. And like, we were just so close, and that's why everyone after the game was probably crying. Like you would think we lost. Like even after the game, like we all hung out with each other after the game. Like it was just like, I don't know, just such a team. And that's like my senior year is like my dream year that I'd have for high school. So
Why you play the game?
Yeah, literally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Was there a mantra? Was there something in big games, big moments, big free throws? Is there a mantra you have? Is there something you tell yourself to kind of level yourself out?
Yeah, we've been in a couple of close games with Dowling and Northwest too. And I think even if it's not just me, I think just gathering the team around and being like, we've been in this moment before. There's still this much time left. Like, we know what we need to do. And I think that's what I just tell myself, is that I've been in this position. Like, the game's not over. Like, there's still so much time left that can happen. I mean, we saw it at State. Ava Smith hit back-to-back-to-back layups, which sold the game for them. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the game's never over. And I think I just gathering everyone around and reassuring that, like, so much can happen and there's still so much to do. And so I think that just relieves all the pressure off my hands. Is I've been here before. Like, I know how to do this.
And that culture you developed this year, the team, the closeness.
Yes.
Those conversations are real.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got some drama and someone comes in, hey, we've been there, everybody's like, whatever.
Right. Exactly.
But when you guys are tight and you have that outside of the court.
And we hang out 24/7 outside the court. I think that's another huge thing, is that we're so close. Like, me and the twins, we call each other triplets, because, like, practically I live with them, they live with me. Like, we just have that bond that's so close. And so I feel like I've learned to, like, grow each and every one of them, and I know how they all act and, like, respond to, like, things that people say. And I think that's what, like, leaders are supposed to do too, is, like, just understand how each one of your players are. And so I think I've grown that, and I've learned, like, they've learned to trust me. And I think that's what's so amazing too, is that they trust me.
All right, a lot of accolades. But what did it mean to become a McDonald's All-American?
Honestly, it was really surreal for me. Gatorade and McDonald's have been, like, the two, like, dream things that I've wanted in my high school career, just to be, like, those are, like, McDonald's is such an honor. Like, the best of the best only get picked. And so, like, when I woke up and I saw it, I was just like, oh my God. My dad came running from downstairs, my mom screaming. Like, it was just, like, such a big, like, accolade for me. And it was, like, the biggest one that I've wanted. And so to finally, like, have that come true, like, it still, I don't even think has processed yet. And I literally leave Friday, but, like, I'm just so excited. And it's just such an honor, especially, like, with all the greats that have been there. Like, I'm just excited.
Right on. Adversity, and you mentioned this a bit earlier, but tell us when you found out about diabetes and how that's become who you are and how you've responded to that.
Yeah, I found out literally, like, a couple days before school in 8th grade. I think that was the hardest thing, is that school was about to start and I just got diagnosed with this random disease that I had no clue about. But
and did you know were you not feeling right, or how?
It's actually crazy. So I was going into practice one day and my coach was like, Jenica, you look really skinny. And I was like, really? Like, what? And I told my parents about it the next day, because I was like, it's funny, like, I don't know. And they're like, oh, really? Like, yeah. And then I started working out and started drinking gallons of water. I had to tell my dad, like, every 10 seconds, like, I'm thirsty. And he's like, Jenica, no, you're not. Like, come on. I'm like, no, like, genuinely, I need a break. And he thought that was weird. And then I was, like, just constantly using the restroom, like, every 30 minutes. And we're like, what the heck's going on? My mom, she's crazy. She looks up online, sees all this random stuff about how it could be diabetes, how it could be this. And so I, like, begged her not to take me in, because I'm like, I don't have this. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Got, like, Starbucks and Chick-fil-A that morning too. And then went to the doctor. What do you know? I have diabetes. And then got immediately went to the hospital. And then my blood sugars were like 600 above, like, that, which is, like, insane, like, not healthy at all. And so it was crazy. I mean, it's been a, like, long journey, just because it's just something I never dealt with. I had to change all these things that I'm so used to. I have to prick my finger every now and then. I feel, like, awful half of the time. I lose sleep, like, all these things. And it's just like, why? Like, I think I went through a long period of time of just, like, why me? Mm-hmm. Like, what did I do to deserve this, kind of? And I think that's, like, one of the reasons I got so close with God, is just because, like, he's, like, helped me, like, realize, like, bad things happen to good people all the time. And, like, it's not anything you did. It's just something you have to go through. And I think that's why I just want to help others so much, is just because, like, I've been where they've been, like, wondering why, like, I didn't do anything wrong. Why do I have to do this? And why does that have to be shown? Like, it's embarrassing. It's this and that. But, like, growing up, like now, I'm just like, it's not embarrassing. Like no one's going to look at you differently. And I think that's like when at state, that girl like showed what she showed, like, and honestly, it was just like a whole like new perspective for me, because like, I don't really like know people like look up to me, but like to finally hear that like someone like that does, it was like honestly life-changing for me. And me and my family like still text her to this day, and like honestly it was just really cool, and it was really amazing.
She'll never forget.
No, neither will
and
I.
You'll never realize the ripple effect that you've had on people seeing that. Wow.
I know.
Jenica.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that's awesome. And it's adversity. It's grit.
It is.
You know, it's going to get you through times. And you've probably become more disciplined now. It's probably been more positive habits, maybe, from your eating and just your health overall.
Yes.
That's helping your game.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, it's just crazy to think about where I am right now and like where I could be. Like, I'm just glad I can use my platform to like my social media platform to like just even encourage others. Cause I'll like, after that video or like got out, I got like a lot of DMs and things saying like these girls had it too, and like they look up to me. I was just like, this is like really cool, and I'm glad I can like use my platform to help people show like it's not embarrassing and they got it.
And is that a story you will continue at the next level?
For sure. Yeah, for the rest of my life.
Now, according to my research, at one time you had 48 Division I offers.
I did.
So how in the heck do you go from that? Take us through that recruiting process. How did...
Yeah, well, it was a long one. But for me, it was kind of different than everyone else's like normal. A lot of people rely on their parents and their coaches and lean on all these people. But for me, I felt like what helped me was just me keeping it all to myself, which sounds like a lot because it's so many. But honestly, throughout like the time, you find people who care about you and the interests that you have, but also care about you on the court and off, like both. And I think that was like a big thing. And honestly, what was after like a while, like when people offered me, like sometimes they just wouldn't talk to me anymore. And like that kind of made the decision easier, but it was like, I think they just wanted to put out that they're interested, which is fair. But like, I'm like really like personal, and I like getting to know people, but like also like not to the point where they're like bombarding me. And so I felt like Notre Dame, like when I got there, and like they were just so comforting and like welcoming, it was just like, how could I say no? And then they had like all the academics thing that I needed, and then it was so hard to say no. And like the girls, like they're so amazing, and all my top 5 schools that I had like were so hard to say no to, and like talk to them and say no. And I think that's like a big thing for me, is that I'm not really good at confrontation. And so it was more like my parents, they kind of had to help me with that. They're like, you need to tell them, like, and I'm like, I don't think I can, but I finally found the courage to. But like it was a long process, but for me, I relied on myself and God more than like my parents and other people, just because they'll never understand the combos that we had. But my parents like were so supportive. All my coaches were super supportive. Like they were still always by my side, even though like, I don't want to say I pushed them away, but like I was kind of more self-independent on that part.
What advice would you give a high school kid going through that? How do they work through that recruiting process?
I would say take your time. I say that a lot, but like seriously, like the coaches are kind of on your timing. Like if you're doing a lot, like if you schedule a time and a coach doesn't really call you when you're supposed to call you, like schedule a different time. Like don't like feel like, oh no, like this and that. Like it really is your journey, and you paved your path. And I think that's what's so big, is that like you can, like, not saying you can do what you want, like respect their time too, and like call them when they need to call you, but like take your time and don't stress about it too much. Like I got the feeling with Notre Dame, and people always say like you'll get that feeling when you know, and it really is like real. Like you really do know when you know, and I think that's another thing.
That was my next. How did Coach Ivy and Notre Dame separate? What you knew, but what about it really attracted you to the Irish?
Yeah, when they sat me, I think this was like one of the biggest moments. Like when they sat me down, they basically told me all the good and bad. Like it wasn't just like, we want you, we can do this, like this and that. It was more of like, we're going to develop you into this player. We're going to get on you, but then at the same time, we're going to be your biggest supporters. Like they were telling me everything that, like, not just what I wanted to hear. Like that everything I need to do is worked for. But at the same time, you need to keep your grades up. You need to be academic.
They're recruiting the whole person.
Yeah,
not just the basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
What motivates you? I mean, through all of this and through obviously basketball and diabetes, but what motivates Jenica on a daily basis?
I think one of my biggest fears is just disappointing people. Like, I think that's just something that I really do fear, is like disappointing people, whether it's like random people that I know or like my family, my friends. And so I think that's what motivates me, is just always continuing to do things that people want me to do. I'm not saying like I'm being manipulated or anything, just like things that I find joy in, but then also that find joy in other people. Like, I find joy in doing like TikTok and social media, and like I think just being that person that people want to look up to and being a role model for people, I think is what motivates me every day. And just doing what I can, especially for my family, like my mom, my dad, my brother. Funny thing is, like, after every single time like I make a big purchase or something and they pay for it, obviously, because I'm old now, but I wasn't that old enough, I'd always be like, I'll pay you back then. Like, when I get to WNBA, I'll pay you back. And so, like, every single now and then, they'll be like, yeah, you're going to pay us back still, right? Like, I don't know, just, like, I don't know, funny jokes like that. But, like, seriously, like, I just want to, like, have my family live the happiest they can live, my brother and, like, my friends. Like, I just want to be really successful, and I think that's what motivates me every day.
What would you tell that 8th grade Jenica, if you could say something to her right now?
That I am really proud of her. I think she was really hard on herself, and she honestly just took everything on her. And I'm just like really proud to see how far she's grown and how mature she is and how much of a leader. And I think, yeah, that's really it.
Well done. Well done. How do you plan to train to transition to that college game? I mean, what are you thinking is going to be the biggest challenge, and what are you going to do this summer to get ready for next year?
Yeah, I think this is a big one, and I think Jill will even tell you, the weight room. We do the weight room, but we don't really do the weight room, and it's crazy to show because like how far we've gotten like through that. But like, I think the weight room is going to be a big thing, just because at Notre Dame they do it a lot, and I think just other girls being taller and stronger is going to be the hardest transition for me. And definitely like time balance. Like, I'm big on academics, but like also like I don't want to say I take it like fully seriously. It's like the point where I'm just like this. It's like I procrastinate a little bit, you know? So definitely just balance and like time, and also that transition to basketball. Like, people are going to be taller, stronger, and even better at like other things than I am. So like just working to either get better at all that I can. So.
And you're going to see gains in that weight room. I mean, that's the good thing. I mean, it's going to be work, it's going to be a grind, but you're going to see that relatively quickly.
What's so good too is that we have such a good weight room coach too. So
Jilly could get in the weight room a little more.
I know he's right. Like, he's always on our butt about it.
Hobbies and interests outside of basketball. What keeps you? You'd mentioned earlier nature. I mean, what keeps you grounded? What is it that your go-to when you need to step away from the court? And do you think that's important?
Yes, I think it's really big. My therapist, actually, I go to therapy for just mental health, and she actually tells me like, do the things that you find joy in. And I like doing puzzles. I like doing Legos. I like taking naps, hanging out with friends. Obviously TikTok. I like to do a lot of things normal teens do, but yeah, I like a lot of things, I guess.
It's good. Yeah. It's healthy to have something outside of whatever that sport may be.
Yeah.
That's great. And that'll be beneficial next year, because you're going to need that. Okay, I need to get the new Lego set.
I know, right?
And I need to just spend 2.5 hours putting little pieces of plastic together.
Yes, I could not imagine just doing basketball 24/7.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
No.
It's not healthy.
Academics, what's your major? What's your plan?
I was going to major in business. Not so sure anymore. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I might minor in it, but maybe marketing, thinking marketing maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of going in undecided just to, I don't know.
Feel it out.
Yeah.
And you'll know.
Exactly.
You'll get a class, you'll make a connection. And there's, I mean, obviously business goes several ways, but even marketing. I mean, sports marketing, there's so many opportunities there.
And
then you come back over to the girls' union. So.
Who knows?
Soft pitch.
Stop moving around here.
I always move around. I wiggle.
You're squeaking. You're squeaking.
Last question. You ready for this? What does it mean to be an Iowa girl?
To be an Iowa girl, it means just to be a good person in general, whether it's to random people you don't know or like your really good family or friends. Being there for your community, I feel like, and just being the best person and finding joy in things you do. I love Iowa and I love being an Iowa girl. So just being a good person, helping out your community, and doing the things you love.
Is there a part of you when you go to these big tournaments and stuff and people are like, where are you from? And you're like, Iowa.
It's funny. I used to not even say I was from Iowa when I went to camps just because, like, I'd be like, where are you from? Iowa? Iowa? Like, where's that? I'm like, it's literally dead center. Like,
Yes.
What are you even talking about? I went to a camp and they actually called me Iowa. Like, that was my name because no one, like, every time I go somewhere, I never see anyone from Iowa.
No.
It'll be California or Arizona.
Then you drop 20 on them and you're like, Iowa.
Iowa.
IOWA. Got it?
Exactly. It's Iowa. Exactly. Accountability. Accountability is taking ownership for things you might not be right on. Communication. Communication is talking throughout problems so that you can all have the same end goal. Leadership. Leadership is helping and guiding others to solve a problem. Parents. My parents have been very helpful throughout my whole journey and just a shoulder to lean on, and I think that's how parents should be. Culture. Culture means having your teammates back and just doing everything for each other. Teamwork is working together to find the end goal and just leaning on each other to solve it. Work ethic. Work ethic means working hard at everything you do and always giving 100%. Resilience. Resilience is working through hardships to stay focused and accomplish your goals.
If you'd like to check out more Empowering the Iowa Girl interviews, go ahead and click here for our playlist. If you'd like to see the recent interviews we've completed, go ahead and click here. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe to catch all of our interviews when they come out on the informational superhighway, click here.